Welcome to Talking All Things Business. I'm Faye Waterman, your host, and my guest today is Arline Figero. And Arline is a lingerie designer and a photographer. Now, Arline, welcome.
Thank you, Faye.
Arline, let's talk a little bit about who you are. Now, where you come from and how you got involved in the design area in the first instant and then moved into photography, which is another design area really, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Arline Figaro. I was born in Mauritius and I did study design, fashion and textile design.
Fashion and textile, yes.
Fashion and textile design. My love for design probably comes from my mother and my father.
Yes.
My mother was a dressmaker and my father a shoemaker. This is a love from the craft that I grew up with.
What a great craft to grow up with.
Yes. So I'm very inspired by them and always wanted to do fashion design. And during my fashion design course, I learned about photography. And this is where the photography came from.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So you worked in the fashion design area first.
Yes.
And when you were going through university, doing your degree in fashion design,
yes,
you had a component of that which was photography as well?
Yes. In the first year we did photography because we had a project. We need to go and photograph nature.
Nature?
Yes, to develop prints, to get patterns and design from nature.
So you went out into nature with your camera and took photos of different parts of nature, trees, leaves, flowers, plants, all sorts of things.
Yes.
Then you brought those photos back and designed prints from those to put onto fabric.
Yes, to do printing, screen printing, tie and dye, and different even embroideries.
Right.
Yeah, to explore different techniques.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So the skills that you would have learnt from that in design would have given you a good basis for looking at the fabrics that you used.
Yes.
The textures, the colours, the combination of putting things together.
Yes.
Talk about that.
So what I learned was how to mix things, how to balance, texture, colors, and how things works together. How some things doesn't work together.
Yes.
Yes, and it's all about balance.
What was it like when you actually, you wanted to put two fabrics together, but they really just didn't work? How did you deal with that?
Well, you try and see if it works. If it doesn't work, sometimes you have to change one or you add another element to break it.
Right.
So you can use them together, but have something that will break those two fabrics.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So you can still use it.
You can still use it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Did it get frustrating at times when you wanted to do something and it didn't really work out?
It can get, very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing is design. Design is finding solution, creating things.
Yes.
And that's a challenge of it.
Right.
To get things right. And if you have to change, sometimes you have to change it.
Yes. It's like life, isn't it?
Yes.
If something's not going right, you have to change it, don't you?
You have to change it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yes. And experimenting.
Yeah, experimenting.
Was it fun?
It is fun. Like, I love design.
Okay.
I love creating and finding solutions.
Yeah.
Yes.
And would you watch your mum and your dad in the areas that they worked, your mum in dressmaking, when she was making something and something didn't quite fit or work, how she would manipulate it or change it to get it to work for her?
I don't remember too much how my mom did it. Yeah, I was very young. But she was really good at what she was doing,
Yes.
and things were just flowing. So I don't know
She
how
made
she
it
did
easy.
Yes, she made it easy.
She made it look really easy.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. And your dad, when he was making shoes,
Yes.
he designed the shoes, or he just made shoes? What was it?
He made shoes, and there were designer there, so he was just making shoes. But at home, we make him, do some design. We design and ask him to do things for us.
So he would make shoes for you in the styles that you wanted them.
Yeah.
Because he had the craft there already,
yes.
he could do that,
yes.
which is pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And that's pretty exciting, because you could have mixed different fabrics together and done all sorts of crazy things and had lots of fun with it.
Yeah, I think sometimes I challenge him and I say, I want to do this, especially for the fashion show that I was doing at school. And I say, I have this idea. Would you help me to do that? And I can say, okay. So
he never batted an eyelid. He just said yes.
Yes.
That's
he always,
fabulous.
Yeah, he always gets excited of what I'm thinking, and
because he's watching you grow and develop and become that creator that you are today. And using your imagination and that fantasy, going into that fantasy world and saying, yes, look, this is what I want to create. This is what I'm going to create for the show. And this is the design I want for the shoes, which could be right out there. What sort of design did you do? What sort of designs did you do for your little fashion shows that you had to do for uni?
Oh, the first year was crazy. So at the same time, I participated to a national in Mauritius, a national fashion design award. And I had to do something really crazy. So it was quite modern. And I had my dad to help me. So I had this skirt. It was a little bit before The Fifth Element. You know, that the movie with Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis, right.
Yeah. So The Fifth Element was very, very modern, and it has these skirt with like stripy skirt that I did, and then you can pull it up.
Oh, either side. Right.
And you can lift it, the string, and the skirt will just drop. Yeah.
Right.
So I was doing things like this, a bit crazy.
Right.
And my dad was really into it. Like, he helped me.
Yeah.
It was made with leather, so.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so he helped me doing the structures of the design.
Because he would understand the leather and how it moved. So therefore the cutting of it and the shape of it would make the difference of how it moves.
Yes, yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. That's so exciting. So what sort of shoes did he get him to make you?
It was the first year, I think, I made my own fabric. And I asked him, I laminated the fabric, and I asked him to make shoes with it.
Right.
And I chose my heels and everything. And
were they high? Were they low?
They were high heels.
Like a stiletto type thing?
Yes, yeah.
We were wearing those shoes and running in them, but you don't ask me to do it now. It's quite funny, isn't it? Yeah. But it looked fabulous. What colours did you use?
It was a bit green and a bit of blue, a bit of watercolors.
Right.
Yes.
The pastel-y shades.
Pastel shades.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And it looked fabulous.
Yeah, it did. I wore them after.
Did you?
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, you had to get him to make them so that you could wear them.
Yes.
There was no point in just making
just
them.
No,
looking at them. Goodness. So did you have to wear your fashion?
No, we had models.
Right.
Wearing our fashion.
Okay. And the hairstyle, what was the hairstyle like? Was it right out there, or was it?
Yeah, it was right out there. So I did hats. I did earrings with forks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was. Yeah, we did a lot of crazy things, and
earrings with forks. So you made earrings out of forks.
Yeah, a little fork that we twist a little bit.
Right.
And made earrings.
Put a hoop in it so that it could hang.
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff.
Big hats, silver hats, and
love hats. I love hats. So this is fabulous, because you know, thinking about, and you can use your imagination to see it, the leather skirt with the strings pull up and then drop it down with the big stilettos with the pastel colours and the fabric, and then the hats and the makeup and the earrings, the forked earrings, the forked earrings. Yay, that's exciting. So you got through uni and you went, did you have to do an internship after you'd finished uni, or was that toward the end?
Toward the end.
Toward the end,
yes. I did with a knitwear designer.
A knitwear designer.
Yeah, knitwear designer.
Right. And what was that experience like?
It was a great experience because I thought, you know, knitwear is pretty basic, you know, but the designer, he's really good, and he was showing me how you can be very creative with knitwear and using the yarns, treat them differently, and you get different results with different knits. So I love what I've learned there, and also making the pattern on the machine, how to calculate to get the pattern right according to the size.
Right.
I loved it.
Right.
Yeah.
And there is an art in that, isn't there?
It's
not an easy thing to do, because if once you start knitting on that machine, then you've got to bring in the different yarns and the pattern's got to match and do all that sort of stuff. It just confuses me even just thinking about it. It's like, hello.
You can do a lot of things in knitwear.
Quite amazing stuff.
Quite amazing.
Yeah. And so from there, where did you go?
So from there, when I had my exhibition for the final year, then Janet Rieger, a very famous lingerie designer.
Janet Rieger, a very famous lingerie designer.
Yes, from England. And she came to the exhibition and she saw my work and she asked me to work for her.
Yeah, and what a privilege.
It was.
Did you realise when she did that how exciting that could have been for you?
At that time, no.
No.
I didn't know her that well.
Right.
Yes, and years after, I realised how privileged, you know, I've been.
And for her to see your work as a young student and then asking you to go and work for her because she saw something in you that had this creativity, this imagination, this fantasy to be even more creative in the lingerie side of things and different fabrics and things to what you would have been using for outerwear and knitwear, and then going into use. What sort of fabrics and things did you play with and use?
Oh, we use a lot of beautiful laces, French levers lace, silk fabric, and the best knits from Europe and embroidery from Europe. I got the opportunity to work with those beautiful laces and embroidery. Like, her product was really high market.
High market. And the people that wore her lingerie were people, can you name a few people?
Well, there was Princess Diana. She was among the customers. And Joan Collins.
Joan Collins.
Yes. Madonna, I think Madonna too.
Madonna did too?
Yes,
and she was out there. You could have designed some good stuff for her. Her leather bras and things like that, you know.
Yeah. And Courtney Love.
Courtney Love.
Yeah. She sent me one of her bras once to fix.
To fix?
Yes.
Really? What was wrong with it?
I don't know. She did something to it.
Okay. Well, it must have been a very special bra for her to want it to be fixed.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So people like that wore the underwear that you helped design and make and create. What an honour that is.
Yeah.
To know that there are people out there that love what you do.
Yes. Yeah.
And appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good quality. Well fitted, you know, because you've got to have those good undergarments to then have something over it to give you that right shape, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from there, you know, what opportunities did she create for you?
Oh, she really uplift, you know, my skill.
Yes.
So she gave me lots of opportunities. She always, you know, tell me, oh, you know, it's been a year now. You need to get a pay rise. Oh,
how many times does
yes.
that happen in work?
No.
Been a year now.
Yeah.
You need to get a pay rise.
Yes.
Okay.
I bought a car, and she said, "I'll give you the petrol."
So you buy a car,
yes.
and she says that
yes.
she's going to pay for your fuel.
Fuel, yes.
Wow.
And she said, "Oh, now it's time for you to travel with me and to show you a little bit more than Mauritius." So I went with her to Paris, to London, to the fairs to see fabrics. She taught me what to look for fabrics, and I remember we used to go in Dior boutique and other big, you know, couture boutique. She would bring me she would have her handbag of Chanel with her, so people, you know,
took her seriously.
Yeah. And then we would go and look at all the outfits and show me the details of each outfit and take inspiration from all these.
Right.
And then when we come back to Mauritius, then we start designing and looking at finishes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So what a skill to have, and what a skill to be able to, or what an experience really, to be able to go and learn from the best.
Yes. Yeah.
What an honour.
Yeah.
Okay. What else did she do for you?
I think she just, you know, every time she gave me opportunities to grow, to learn. Like, she's been tough on me at the beginning and showing me how to get things right and telling me off a lot of time at the beginning, but that helped me a lot.
Yeah.
It helps me a lot to grow.
So, you know, you might have made a mistake and she called you in, but she wanted to explain, you know, why did you do this? And this is how you can do it. So it wasn't like, oh, you know, treat you like you're stupid or anything.
No, not at all.
She actually wanted to teach you how to get it right.
Yes, yeah. This is where I learned laundry, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, she teach me a lot.
Wow.
Yes.
That's exciting in itself for someone who is passionate about what they do, but then is also passionate about teaching someone else the craft.
Yes. Yeah.
And teaching it in a way that you will grow and develop and go away and still maintain those amazing skills.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how long did you work for her?
I worked for her for 7 years.
7 years.
Yes, yeah.
A lot of skills to be learnt in 7 years.
Yeah.
And then where did you go from that?
So then we migrated to Australia.
So you came to Australia, and in what year was that?
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
You migrated to Australia.
Yes.
And what was your reason for coming here?
I think it's mostly for the kids to have better education and to have a little bit better lifestyle, maybe.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what was it like when you first, did you come directly to Melbourne or did you go to somewhere else first?
No, we came directly to Melbourne.
Right.
Yes.
And what was that experience like for you?
I was excited. Some people, you know, when they move to another country, they get sad or nervous. I was pretty confident. Like I knew I would love it. The weather was something that we experienced like we didn't expect.
The weather.
The weather. So.
The weather.
Yeah.
Yes, 4 seasons in one day. Yes, absolutely.
So that was very, you know,
interesting.
But everything went so smoothly. My husband, he has his sister here.
Right.
And cousins and nephews. So we felt very welcome.
So you had family to come to, which is totally different than coming here without knowing anybody.
Yes.
That
yes.
would have been tougher.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you had a good start.
We had a good start. We have lots of support. And after a month here, I've got a job with Kaiser,
Kaiser, yes.
Simon de Winter.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I worked there for 11 years.
11 years.
Yes.
So you also did some work for the body, Elle
Yes.
Macpherson. How long did you work for her?
I worked for Elle Macpherson, I think it was like 3 years.
3 years.
Yes. Yeah.
And did you actually design or?
Yeah, we design with her, so she will come twice a year.
Right.
And we have like a week session.
Right.
And a
working
workshop,
with her.
Yes, working with her and see what she wants.
Right.
And from there, we will
go away and design
and put her ideas forward and work on it.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been an experience.
It was an experience. Yeah.
And was she good to learn from? Was it that you were learning from her, or was it that she was just giving you ideas about her designs that she wanted you to create?
I think she had lots of experience too.
Right.
Her brand exists for years.
Mm-hmm.
And so we learned from her, and she will have some ideas and we will propose her what we think too. Yes.
Good. So 3 years there.
3 years.
Yeah. And then where to? Where did you go after working for Elle and Kaiser? What did you want to do after that?
I wanted to do something that's I have the passion. It's been a long time that I did it for a hobby.
Yes.
And I wanted to do a business and to make it to be more professional.
Yes.
So I take courses about photography.
All right.
Yes. So photography was always my passion.
Yes.
And I wanted to take the opportunity to
make it work.
Yes.
And photography is an extension of the creativity that you had been doing for years.
Yes.
And you were doing photography in the background anyway, because that was a part of your course to do and create fabrics and all those sorts of things.
Yes.
So it's an extension of who you are and what you do.
Yes.
So what sort of photography did you decide to do?
So I decided to do portraits. I love photographing people.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So you do lots of portraits, or you do other photography as well, don't you, besides portraits?
Yeah, I do. I also have, I haven't mentioned before, I have a website where I sell wall art.
Wall art.
Yes.
Okay.
And I photograph flowers and plants and landscape. It's on Etsy.
All right, on Etsy. Yeah. I know Etsy.
Yeah. So I love photographing nature.
Yes.
Yes. And I do portraits. I do family or any portrait, photographing people. And branding photography.
Right.
Personal branding.
Personal branding for businesses.
For businesses.
Right. And do you specialize in any specific type of business, or is it just overall business that you can do the branding for?
It's mostly women in business.
Women in business.
Women in business.
Yes.
And I wanted to go to do a bit more of real estate agent.
Right, real estate.
I think, yes, there's a lot of possibility. There's a lot of things to do.
And what do you see in creating that I don't know what to say, their movement in real estate as far as photography goes? What is it that you see that you can create the opportunity for real estate agents to have?
Yeah, I think it looks very, photography for real estate agent at the moment looks very corporate, you know. They come with a suit and have photo done in front of the house, or, you know, just a plain background. And I think there's more opportunity for those real estate agents to be more out there and to show a bit more about them and to brand themselves.
To show that they're real people.
They're
They're
real
not
people,
they're not just these pushy people that want to sell your house for you or get someone to buy it. So it's actually telling a story about who they are, and seeing the real person and not that other side that you see a lot of the time in real estate.
Yes, so people get connected more with them.
Yes, getting to know them and like them and trust. Okay. That sounds really fascinating, to be able to connect with real estate agents and to connect with their team and create a story, because that's what you're doing. Is you're creating a story as far as the corporate side of them goes, but you're also creating that real story about who they are and why they do what they do. So bringing that in and bringing the professional side with the it's still professional, but it's telling their story and creating that, giving people the opportunity to really know who they are and get a feel for them, to whether they want to work with them or not.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
I think, you know, it's quite a competitive market.
Oh, hugely.
And, so they need to step up a little bit and show a bit more. People now want to connect with, you know, with the person they're buying their home. So they want to connect more. They want to know you more.
And it's an emotion that they're dealing with. The real estate agent can probably shut off from that emotion, but the people who are buying or selling are quite emotional and about what they're doing. So therefore they want someone who is compassionate, someone who understands, and someone who is not going to rip them off. Because that's what happens a lot of the time. I'm not judging, but, you know, I've seen it happen. But, you know, but there's also a good side to real estate, isn't there? And that's the story that you want to share about those people that are in there for the right reasons. That's fabulous. Is there any other area of that you would like to really share the story of their business, specific businesses, or is it general?
I would say in general. I think any woman or any person who, you know, work for 10, for 20 years in the corporate business, and at the time of their life, they want to do something that has more meaning to them, and they want to do something, their own business. For these people, this is what I'm looking for, to create their brand, to help them to create their brand. They've been working for so many years. They have lots of experience, expertise, and they want to share this to people, but they don't know how to do it.
That's right.
And this is where I help those people to give them the confidence to be in front of their ideal customer. Ideal, you know,
to attract
them.
Yes, to attract them.
So what image will attract them, and what message do they want to
portray?
To their
clients, ideal clients, potential clients, and the clients that they already have that probably don't really know them anyway. They might buy a product off them but don't really know them. And I think it's the know, like, and trust is a really important part of anyone's business. If they trust you, they'll do business with you. If they don't trust you, they're a little bit more standoffish. Because they don't really know whether they want to buy it or whether they I don't know about this. And they put that question mark there. Whereas if you are portraying them in a way that there's a story about this person who shows the human side and the compassionate side of them, then people are more likely to come to them.
Yeah, people are now, they are smarter. They look
Oh,
for
yes.
more things that they connect with before they buy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's what I'm all about. No,
Yes.
like, and trust. It's very important.
Yes. Yeah.
So where do you see yourself in 12 months from now?
Oh, I see myself growing my business
Mm-hmm.
and photographing lots of people, lots of women, and helping businesses and families.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're photographing a family,
Yeah.
what's it like to get them all together and to get them, you know, in that storytelling position? And that's what I'm going to call it. It's a storytelling position.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it becomes part of their legacy.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a story.
Yeah.
How do you create that story? What is the image in your head that then you portray for them to be, where they sit, stand, whatever they do, to share that story with the world?
So when I have a family coming for photo shoot, I don't just do the group. So I'll do one by one. So I'll do probably siblings. And the way I'll be posing them would be, you know, with sisters and brothers or sisters, showing the connection with them. And then I start doing mom with the kids, dad with the kids, and then put them together. And just showing, you know, hugging and showing love and
storytelling.
The storytelling. And I also bring, for the kids, to bring something they love or to dress up as something they want to be or what their hobbies.
Yeah.
Or to bring a teddy, and I'll take the photos of, you know, something that they love. So I will have individual, you know, each one in the family has their own
photo.
Yeah.
Their own special photo. One.
Yes, and they have their own character that you want to portray.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you just, at the end, you just bring them together.
And that is a story, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a story in itself to be able to visualize, and while you're talking about it, I can visualize what you're doing to create the mood.
The mood, yes.
To create the environment, to create the background, which also tells a story about who they are as well.
Yeah.
When you delve into it, it's a really interesting to think about what photography is all about and how it tells a story. Because I love taking photographs, not of people, but of objects and trees and rundown old buildings and things like that. But there's stories to be told in everything that you do.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So, you know, it's really interesting. Okay, so if someone wants to connect with you and ask you a question about what you do, how you do your photography, if that's what it is, what do you share with them? What do you say to them when someone connects with you and says, I want to have my photos taken. How can you do this for me? What do you do?
I'll ask them what they want exactly and how they want to portray themselves. So what they want from this experience. I ask them lots of questions about their history, about their family or their business. And if it's a business, I would say, you know, what's the color? Have you think about your branding and what message you want to say to your clients? So then I gather all the information and I create a mood board to create that photo shoot, to do that photo shoot.
Now, for those who don't know what a mood board is, can you explain that?
A mood board is putting all the ideas, that everything that the person told me, colors or connection, the lighting to create the mood. So I'll have pictures that will, you know, reminds me of these things.
Mm-hmm.
So when the person come, I still remember I need to do this with them, and
Okay.
to create those images. Already in my mind, I already know what lighting I need for these people and what color they should wear. They will bring their own clothing, outfits, and I will be selecting them with them. Like it's not my photo shoot, it's their photo shoot, so they still have their say.
Yes.
And but then I will, give them suggestions. What will go well with this lighting and with this, background.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. So it's a story. You create a story before they come, and then you create the story with the photography that you do.
Yes, yes.
Beautiful. So if someone wanted to get in contact with you, how will they get in contact with you?
So they can contact me. There's a form on my website.
Right. And your website is?
www.arlinefigarophotography.net.
So it's www.arlinefigarophotography.net.au.
No, there's no AU.
Oh, there's no AU. It's just .net. Apologies.
Yeah.
So any other way that they can connect with you?
Yeah, on Instagram or Facebook, on my Facebook page. It's on Instagram is Arline Figaro Photography, and same as Facebook, Arline Figaro Photography.
Right, and you have photos that you've already done of people and all that sort of thing, so that they can actually see what you've done.
Yeah, if you go on Instagram, you will see my folio.
Yeah,
everything that I've done. Not all of them, but
most of it.
Most of it.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. And if you were to say to someone who was thinking of going into design or into photography, what would you say to them?
I think if this is what they want to do, they go for it. I think just follow your dream and make it happen. It means work hard. You need still to work hard. You don't just dream.
No, you don't.
Yeah, but especially in this area where you need to create, so you need big visions.
Yes.
So you need to have big visions.
Yes.
And then you work for it.
Yes.
Till you achieve it.
Yeah. And it is a step-by-step process, isn't it? You start at the beginning and you have the end in mind, but then you've got to look at the steps in the middle to get to where you want to go.
Yeah. There's also the marketing side.
Yes.
That, it's not that easy to sell an artwork, to sell something that you create. So there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work behind
the scenes.
Yeah. So
tell me about it.
It don't just happen like
no,
this.
It doesn't just happen.
But you still have to keep yourself very passionate and motivated.
Yes.
Otherwise you can't do it.
That's right.
Yes.
And you have your favorite photographers and designers and those people that inspire you today to keep you motivated.
Yeah.
And that's also supporting you too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I always watch them on YouTube. I always follow them and listen to their stories. Like, nothing has been very easy.
No.
For, anyone. So,
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
That, people think that you're an overnight success, but there's no such thing as an overnight success. It is, you do all the things behind the scenes, and then all of a sudden you step out into the limelight, if you can say that, and you're there, but they think, oh, she's lucky.
No.
There's no luck in it, is there? There's a lot of hard work.
Yeah, a lot of hard work.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, Arline, we're going to come back with you at some other stage to talk about other things that you provide the services and how you can help people do the things that they want to do in our next session. So thank you for today. People get to know who you are and what you do and why you do what you do and the problems that you solve. And Arline Figero, my guest today, who is a fashion designer and lingerie fashion designer and photographer, does amazing work, and I know that because she's done some photography for me. And I'm Faye Waterman, your host of Talking All Things Business. We will be back next time with Arline to have a conversation about something else that she has in the pipeline. So thank you for now, and bye, and thank you, Arline.
Thank you, Faye, for having me.
Pleasure's mine.